The free update and the expansion pass for Pokemon Pokopia are only days away. Hey YouTube, welcome back to a brand new video. Today we are going through everything you need to do or know to prepare for the upcoming update and the DLC that is heading to Pokemon Pokopia in a couple of days time. We're going to break down all the mandatory things you need to do to enjoy the expansion pass, for example, and some of the optional things you can do to make your time easier on day one. So if this sounds like fun, be sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe if you're new here, and let's get into it. Now, jumping straight into it, let's take a look at the free update first. The free update adds the dive mechanic for everyone who plays Pokemon Pokopia. It's absolutely free and everyone who updates their game can get this, and it's totally separate from the DLC. But of course there are a few things you need to do now in order to prepare for this on day one. The first thing is to learn the ability Jump. The second is to learn the ability Surf, and the third and most important is to complete the Raise the Environment level to level 5 in Bleak Beach. So essentially you need to play the first couple of hours of the game if you haven't already. And the reason you need the two previous abilities is because you need Jump to get Surf and you need Surf to get Dive. If you meet all these requirements at Bleak Beach and you've got Surf, you've got Dive, and you've got level 5, you've met all the conditions in order to meet Manaphy when the update drops, who will teach you the Dive ability. Just as a quick reminder, if you've forgotten or you're not that far in the game, you can unlock Jump from Magikarp in Withered Wasteland, Surf after completing the Meowth quests in Bleak Beach, and then it's just a case of basically repairing the Poke Center, raising the level to level 5, and pretty much completing the Bleak Beach area. Once you've done all these things and you've updated to the 2.0 update from the free update that launches in a couple of days time, you're now free to decorate and build anywhere you want under the water, even without the expansion pass. So pretty much for 99% of players who've been playing since the launch of the game, you're probably already prepared, which is pretty awesome. Moving on to the DLC now, there is some mandatory preparation for the DLC too, but you'll be pleased to know it's pretty much exactly the same as the free update. You just gotta reach level 5 in Bleak Beach and then unlock Dive, because Dive is needed to dive down to the bubbly basin from Bleak Beach. And of course, apart from these things, the only other mandatory thing is of course to buy the expansion pass itself, which you can do now, by the way, if you want to be ultra prepared and have it ready, pre-installed for day one. Once purchased and once the dive ability has been learned, which you get from the free update, you can then enter Bubbly Basin. And both of these things, the free update and the DLC, will of course be available from August 5th. So as far as mandatory things you must do if you want to enjoy everything that's available on day one from either the free update or the DLC, is everything we've just covered. It's not actually that big of a list. But I don't think things stop there, because there's plenty of other things you could do which are kind of optional extras if you want to be super prepared to make sure you don't miss a thing and that you get the absolute most out of this new content when it drops. So we'll now break down all of the optional extras to make sure you get a great head start on day one. But just remember, these are optional. Stockpile materials. If you want to be ultra prepared, and I guess most cozy gamers do, and assuming you don't already have some, it's worth harvesting and hoarding some resources as much as you can, just in case. Whether it's branches or wood or whatever resource you find yourself using the most, and even some that you don't, just hoard it all. Harvest all your resources and stockpile them. This means you will save so much time on day one should anything require it or pop up, and means you won't have to run to another location to harvest a bunch of resources and take you away from that day one experience. Save up Pokecoins. Much in the same way you might want to consider reaching various milestones in the game and completing goals and earn as many coins as possible. As you know, new DLCs typically mean new items, new recipes, and we already know the 2.0 update, the free update and the DLC will be adding lots of stuff to Pokopia, so it wouldn't hurt really to have as many coins on hand, again just in case, especially if you spend a lot of coins regularly and your balance is pretty low. Just earn as much as possible in case you need them, because they are great for buying new furniture, new recipes and other supplies, including all of the new stuff that will be added on launch day. It's basically just so you don't miss out. Storage. Now, another thing you probably don't want to worry about on day one is having storage. So a good way to prepare for the DLC is to take a few days to clean out your storage, get rid of junk, reorganize, consolidate duplicates in your storage boxes, or at the very least, and this is something I'm gonna do, is set up some new empty boxes at Bleak Beach, ready to either take underwater or just use nearby when you're diving down. This is probably a must. I call it an optional one because you don't need to do this, but this will be probably the most handy tip you can set yourself up and give you the most advantage going into day one. Craft some storage boxes, get them on the beach or something, and you're ready. Stock up on ingredients. In much the same way as resources and coins and everything else we've mentioned, it's probably worth batch cooking as much as possible, just so you can enhance your abilities when and if needed. So again, harvest as much as possible or potentially make a little farm in Bleak Beach or something and cook as much as you can or want, store it in your storage boxes, and your future self will thank you. As you can probably tell, doing all this stuff is just basically making sure you have as much as you need going into day one, so you don't have to kind of backtrack and waste time going to other areas and restockpiling just so you can go back and enjoy doing whatever you were doing in the new update. All abilities. If you've been playing the game slow and just decorating as you go, you might want to think about just quickly advancing and unlocking any remaining abilities you need. Not because you need them, outside jump and surf, but it would be peace of mind, I think, should the DLC surprise us with something, or you need something that requires an ability to get, whether it's a resource or something. I'm sure you know what I mean. So, not mandatory by any means, but could be worth it if you're planning on jumping into the new content and just kind of solely playing that for a few days. It might be worth making sure you've unlocked all the other abilities, and probably is especially helpful if you've only just started the game. Complete the Pokédex. This one is huge, or a huge task at least, and honestly, not really needed, but you may want to consider trying to complete the Pokédex so you can fully enjoy and focus on all of the new Pokemon joining Pokopia in the update and DLC. Personally, I'm not even going to do this, I just don't have enough time, but it might benefit the completionists out there who want to fully enjoy the update without worrying about what they may have missed from the base game and in other areas and other places they've kind of pulled themselves away from in order to enjoy diving at Bleak Beach. So if you've got a lot of time or you're putting a lot of hours into the game and you haven't completed the Pokédex yet, maybe it's something you want to do. Finally, and this is just kind of a bit of a summary one, just take these next few days to enjoy Pokopia again if you've stepped away from the game previously or something. Jump back in, get used to the controls, the environment, the Pokemon, the abilities, where resources are, what you need to craft, and just finish up anything you may have left previously so you're fully prepared to enjoy what the 2.0 free update and the DLC has to offer when you jump back in a couple of days' time. So yeah, that's really all there is to it. Of course, you need to learn Jump, Surf, and Raise Bleak Beach to level 5 to unlock Dive. You need to do all those things and unlock Dive in order to access the Bubbly Basin once you've purchased the expansion pass, and you're fully prepared. All of the optional extras are just to make your life easier on day one if you want to do that, or if you have time, or if you haven't hoarded a million things already, and that is just stockpile everything basically. So doing some of these things or all of these things will really make your life easier. So let me know what you think. Is there anything we've missed? Is there anything that you recommend other players to do before the launch day of the expansion pass or before we update to the next free update? Let me know in the comments. I hope you found this video useful, especially if you've only just started playing the game. So yeah, be sure to leave a like on the video on the way out and don't forget to subscribe.